Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today on the climate change issues as well as how to change it. I'll be talking about the environment and biodiversity conservation. But before I go on that, I would like to tell my story. This is me. I have been working with the wildlife for past 20 years, and I was privileged enough to work with the most of the wildlife species in India. So why we are talking about the climate change today? Because nature is one thing which we really need to protect. Because this planet Earth started around 4.5 billion years ago, and the Homo sapiens came into existence around 3,000 years ago. And it is the Homo sapiens who have damaged the planet Earth in a very deleterious way. And we should understand we are sharing this planet not only with the other flora and fauna, but with other species who are fighting with us for the space as well as food and shelter. But we need to conserve the biodiversity for the future generation. And now we are seeing the effects of the climate change because of the destruction in the habitat and urbanization and all. And 2020, we all know, we have seen the catastrophic effect of the climate, from the severe cyclones to the flooding to the wildfires, in not only in India, but throughout the world, and zoonotic diseases, rapid temperature fluctuations, extended monsoons. So these are the effects of the climate change, and which is real. And we know we cannot run away from this climate change at all unless we change ourselves. If it's not us, then who is going to conserve the nature? So it all started from the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, which is the biggest national park. And here the leopards as well as the humans, they coexist together. But due to the shortage of the space and habitat destruction, there are conflicts happening. And we have seen so many conflicts of leopard and humans that we had to innovate something to prevent the conflicts as well as to sensitize the tribal communities living near the protected area of the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. And that is when we came up with this wildlife rescue ambulance to give the leopard less harm as well as to sensitize the community. And during the conflicts, we could handle the conflicts in a much better way with less intervention and less touching of the animals by the forest department. So with this, we could able to tranquilize the animal in a better way with less contact and touch. And this is a very advanced kind of innovation which was required in the Indian Forest Department. And as I've told you about the leopard-human conflicts, there are 24 man-eater leopards who are declared man-eaters because there were a lot of conflicts in and around Mumbai area. And when we initially started working, we saw these animals were very obese, and they were having a lot of ingrown nails because they had very less physical activity inside the enclosure. So to prevent that and to give them a healthy lifestyle as well as so that they can replicate their normal behavior repertoire in the enclosure, we provided them with the enrichment like the wooden locks where they could even climb in and they could show their exhibit by marking, as well as for the healthy lifestyle. And this is to conserve the leopards, which is an endangered species. Like that, we are also working for various habitat restorations in all over Maharashtra, especially in the coastal region. We all know, like, ocean is the only place where we are dumping in all the waste products of the cities, and it all ends up in the ocean. And this poor marine life, they do not distinguish between the food as well as the plastics. And there were many times they were ingesting the plastics and ended up in the seashore in a very bad way. So we thought to conserve the habitat restoration, and we started this project in the Sindhudurg area of Maharashtra, where we were able to protect not only the hatchlings but various species of marine animals like olive turtles, sea green turtles, and we have so far released around 6,000 sea turtles of the olive lily, and we were able to protect the hatchlings through the community sensitization. So how we did it? So what we did, we involved the fishermen communities and we tried to change their mindset from consumption of sea turtles to conservation of sea turtles. And it really took a long time. We had to really go into the villages and talk about the sea turtles meat, because for them it was an easy catch during the fishing. The sea turtles were easily caught by them and they used to cook and have their meat, and it is a very common practice in the Koli communities and all. But now these fishermen, they have become a role model because they are also helping us to protect the nesting area of the sea turtles who come every year during the nesting season. So basically, we are protecting the Tambarle beach as well as various other beaches in the Sindhudurg area. In the Mumbai, we initiated the habitat restoration for the Pavocristatus species. We all know national bird needs the protection because there are a lot of poaching cases which have been happening, and the peacock feathers are very common in India, which are used in various rituals and all. So to conserve the habitat, we created the semi-wild environment, which is completely open aviary, wherein the peacocks had everything they needed to conserve and protect their young hatchlings from the predator species. So we provided them with the nesting area, the bathing area, as well as the flora and fauna of that semi-wild habitat was created in such a way that they don't needed to go outside for the food. So this is a best example in the urban and the smart city. We have created a green zone for the particularly the Pavocristatus species in 10,000 square feet area. And it is now a living example. We were able to increase the population of the peacocks, and we were able to protect the young peacocks chicks from the predator species. In the Khargar area and Taloja, we have seen the devastation of the green zone in the last 10 years. To bring the community together and make the Khargar a green zone, we have done the plantations in and around the Taloja. And this is a very interesting case wherein you can see we involved the convicts in the Taloja Central Jail for the plantations activities. And along with them, even the superintendent and the staff of the Taloja Central Jail, they were helping us out to make it a complete green zone. And the reason behind to do this green zone was to bring back the flora and fauna of the Khargar back. And if we see, there were sparrows, lot of sparrows and owls around 10 years back, but slowly the population was decreasing and we were not finding the sparrows as well as the various species of birds in Khargar. But after the project was successful, again the various species are coming back. They're nesting in this area, and this is a very good example where the community and are involving into the environment. And this is also a kind of mental well-being for the convicts. And now it is a very well and green habitat for the biodiversity conservation for the Khargar area. And apart from that, we have been working closely to protect the endangered species, because we know how important the biodiversity is for our future generation. Because if we do not act now, no one is going to act, and our future generation are not going to see the species which are really endangered and might extinct if we do not take the efforts now. So we are working very closely with the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, and if you see, these are the star tortoises and people keep them as a pet. So which is not very illegal and needs to be rectified, because unless there is a demand, the people will not do the poaching of these animals, and it will not get to the cities as a pet. So these are the tortoises which were seized by the Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. We were able to rescue them, rehabilitated them, and again we released them back into the Bannerghatta National Park in Bangalore. So in and around the Khargar as well as Mumbai, I'm working very closely with the wildlife species as well as the reptile species to conserve the Asian wildlife. And this is very important for the conservation of the biodiversity, because we know these animals needs to be protected, and these animals directly and indirectly help in the pollination. If you see in the wild, the even the elephants, when they defecate, those defecation also includes the seeds which they eat, the giraffe or the any herbivorous animals, deers. So it's very important we protect them and help them to live for the nature. And apart from that, we are also working with the communities, rural communities, for the sustainable development goal, with the innovation of lot of greener technology. And these kind of technology is very important because we should have very less carbon footprints, because as a homo sapiens we are the main contributor to the greenhouse effect, and that needs to be really decline in future. And for that we have innovated the lot of disposable techniques using the solar energy. And during corona COVID times, all these sanitary napkins as well as the masks and PPE kit have been lying everywhere, and usually it gets disposed again back in the ocean. So this particular machine can convert it into ashes using the solar energy and leaving the less carbon footprints in India. And we all know, like, there are a lot of problems, but then there is a cultural solutions. And as an Indian, we are very rooted and always have lived our life with the nature. In ancient From the ancient times, the people in India, they have maintained a zero waste lifestyle. And I think it's a time where we should also get back to the nature, get back to our roots, protect the environment and conserve the biodiversity, not as a single person but as a whole community. Everyone should come forward and have little thought. Whatever they are doing, they should leave the less carbon footprints and take their action towards the climate change, and how to prevent it in a better way. They can do lot of plantations, they can protect the nature, and prevent the habitat loss by educating the other communities, and by working together with best of the efforts. And whenever they are using the vehicles, they should think in the mind, like they should use the more eco-friendly things in their lifestyle. So these are basically the changes which needs to be done, and needs to be promoted in a better way. Thank you for listening to my podcast.